Hey everyone, Natalie Underwater here, and today I want to share with y'all the deepest fish that I've speared so far. It is a mutton snapper that I shot at 34.5 meters or 113 feet. Now keep in mind that this is my first time I've ever shot a fish deep. Probably before the deepest was like 50, and then the day before 70 or 80 feet. And normally I'm pretty shallow spearfishing, so I was super excited to finally get the opportunity to go deep spearfishing. For a little bit of context, I do line diving training for funsies, and sometimes I'll do some dry training, but I'm not super regimented about it. But I've definitely spent my minutes and perhaps even hours underwater on the line and buoy. So this dive here was well within my comfortable range for depth and dive time. I got my laptop right to the side over here, and I'm gonna watch back the clip with you all, kind of walk you through everything that's been going on, as well as make some comments, because there are definitely some lessons learned from what went down and what I would do differently, and how I will improve myself, my spearfishing skills, as well as my safety. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. If you have better advice than I have for myself, I'm all ears. Anyways, let's get into these clips and see what exactly went down. So I started off this dive just holding on to the boat's ladder, just hanging out, breathing. Some people may call this a breathe up. I don't really like the term breathe up because it implies that you're changing the normal way that you're breathing to prepare for a dive. And for me, I do not change anything about how I'm breathing. I just like to relax. I like to loosen the tension in my arms and my neck, really relax my muscles. The reason why I'm holding onto the ladder during this process and I'm not just floating above the area I'm supposed to dive down on, because actually the current was ripping like crazy. If you let go of the ladder, you would just be floating on like, bye, like, see you later. So the current was ripping, and that's something to note, is these conditions were definitely questionable. You can see that the water is quite green and the visibility is not quite there. So I held on to the ladder until I was ready to take my final breath. Then once I took my final breath, I did a duck dive down, but in a diagonal fashion because my destination was on the right. Sometimes on my way down, I'll see schools of amberjack, and that will let me know that I'm close to the area that I should be diving. They're really prevalent in this region, but I did not see them, and it started getting a little bit darker, but I could see the bottom, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going. There's a group of fish. I didn't really land in the spot that I wanted to land on, unfortunately, but there's still fish around, so I'm like, okay, I'll just look around and see what I can shoot at. I got my eye on one fish that's there in the back, and I could just see a black dot on its tail. This black dot was an indication to me that this is a mutton snapper. That's their signature dot towards their tail. So right now I land on the sand and my knees are on the ground, and I'm just keeping myself steady, looking at this fish, and I make the shot. He then kind of goes spiraling around. I realized that I should start moving up, and I'm actually pulling on the line. My reel, the tension was pretty tight, and I had purposely set it tight because I really don't like it when they can kind of just like dart off and they just pull all of it. I start finning up with this fish, and amberjack was circling near it. I'm actually kind of like fighting this fish underwater. I thought to myself, this is so stupid. Why am I fighting a fish at depth? Maybe I should have had the tension a little bit looser in retrospect, but I realized that I'm finning now, and I'm not really going as far as I should have been going. First instinct, let's look at the gun. The line on the reel is actually spooled around itself. My contractions are low-key popping off a little bit right now, so those are what those noises are. And I want to say that at any point, if I had felt stressed out, or if I had felt overwhelmed, or if I had felt really the urge to breathe and that I needed to book it for the surface, I would, without hesitation, I would not even bat my eyes, I would drop my gun. My gun does not mean anything to me. It's an object, okay? You can get a new gun, it doesn't matter. What matters is getting to the surface and making sure that you're safe. After that, I think I adjusted the tension a second time and I super loosened it. I was like, goodbye. I'm just going to deal with this all later. Took it pretty easy coming up. One of the important things is don't speed to the surface, especially within those last 10 meters. That is really common range for blacking out. Your buoyancy really should assist you throughout that whole process. So immediately when I surface, I take my hook breaths, which is comprised of a sharp inhalation and a passive exhalation.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Snorkel goes back in the mouth, and immediately I'm looking down and am focusing on retrieving my fish. So I'm just pulling up the line, breathing a little heavy that you can hear, and I just am balling up my string, my Dyneema, whatever we want to call it. I'm balling it up in my left hand and I'm pulling with my right hand, and this is to make sure that I don't get tangled in myself, that if there's any wildlife around me, they don't get tangled in it. I don't get tangled in trying to escape any wildlife. So I'm really trying to keep it all organized here, and it makes me a little bit slower pulling it up, which was a risk that I was willing to take. If it got sharked, it got sharked, you know, there's nothing I can do about that. I look up to see where am I, what's going on around on the surface, get back to it. This whole time I was thinking it, but then I just had to ask it.
Where's my buddy?
I know I sound a little bit sassy here, but honestly, I think it's really important to be in tune with your buddies, and it was probably just a bit of a communication issue in understanding that I do expect someone to be super duper close to me when I surface. I know that the viz, it wasn't perfect, so it was hard to track me. Obviously, like, they can't see me when I'm down there, and I did surface further away from the boat, but it's important that when you're on the surface, someone is keeping tabs on you, because you obviously, within that first 30 seconds of you surfacing, you could still potentially black out. So it's really important to have someone by your side looking out for you. Wow, I was so excited, but also, I'm not even going to lie to you, I thought I made a mistake. The fish was so red, and I know that there's a dot there, but I was like, what if this is a red snapper?
Guys, I think I shot a red snapper by mistake. No, I just fought a fish. Come pick me up. Oh shit, I can swim. I'll swim. Okay, coming. I'm so mad. I swore it was a mutton.
It just seems so red, and I haven't really seen muttons when they're alive right after you shoot at them. Once they die, they begin to lose their color a bit, and I've seen a lot of lighter colored muttons, usually down in the Keys or in the Bahamas. But because we're out in the Panhandle over here, like, we're really not in mutton territory, I was confused. It's almost like it was like breeding with a mangrove snapper or something. It definitely has a different look to it, but it is undeniably a mutton, not only because of the dot, but because of the nose that it has. It also has a teal little line underneath its eye, which is a huge mutton indicator. This current was actually kicking my booty. I'm not even kidding you. The ocean, it was like a treadmill, except the ocean. You would kick and you would not go anywhere, because you're going this way and you're kicking this way. But all you had to do is you just had to tap into your overdrive, and then you're all good.
No, don't. Please, please.
Any sharks? No.
No shark.
I'm telling you, there are no sharks, dude.
My reel.
You got a nice mutton.
Thanks.
Of course, had to get a few fish pics in the Neptonics 3mm wetsuit, keeping me warm. But what a beautiful fish. My first ever mutton snapper. I'm so excited. I absolutely love free diving and I love spirit fishing. I'm always looking for more buddies to go deep with that are safety oriented, so feel free to hit me up. So that is the whole moment. Thank you all for watching. I am sorry if I stressed you out. I am definitely going to get a belt reel for redundancy. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. And I cannot wait to continue learning and refining my spearfishing skills and techniques. I will see you in the next one. Bye!